But let's stay here because I want to show you my, because I'm from the most corrupted country in the world with last dictatorship, I guess. So I'm originally from Belarus. My name is Ludmila Christeseva. I'm an artist and curator. And you can see that Belarus has borders with Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. We have also Ukraine, Russia, and then we have Sweden just across the Baltic Sea. And I would move from Belarus after I studied art and fashion design in the university, and the reason why I would move is because I didn't see possibilities for personal and professional development. And of course, it's one of the reasons that wherever you go, you have to maybe have contacts or pay or something. And I wasn't good enough at questioning all these issues. I didn't have tools, methods. So I just decided, fine, let's not focus on the problem. Let's see how other cultures and other countries are functioning. So I moved to Sweden to build my life and to find new possibilities. And the first thing, of course, as an artist for me was to find a way to express myself, find job, find people to connect. And I started working for Lars Wallin, who is fashion designer here. And while working for him and his creative team, I found out that there are tools. This is prototypes in the fashion industry. They are thrown away, and I would start collecting them and bring them on stage. This would also help me with my theoretical maybe like investigations, what femininity in different cultures mean. And what I learned in Belarus, it was that the Belarusian art history was shaped by male artists like Mark Chagall, and we can see Malevich, Black Square, and El Lisitsky. And I would do something different. I would bring tools on stage, and I would start refer to Belarusian female artists and writers, and also outstanding women in Belarusian history. So this project with tools, so tools are actually dresses in the fashion industry, and if you laminate them, then they can look very spooky. This exhibition in Stockholm in the Army Museum in 2016, and I refer to the Belarusian writer Svetlana Alexievich. She highlighted story of women during Second World War. After that, I would continue with many other different projects. I paint. It's again installation with a toile, which is skirt. So I didn't do so much except I recycle it and I put it in the art space and I stretch it on the floor and I send a message to my sister. And this project is dedicated to sisterhood. So I would continue working with my own art practice and develop and exhibit it in different institutions, and fashion would dominate my art. Until in 2018, I would get a request to support a book project about 16 outstanding Belarusian women, illustrated by 16 contemporary Belarusian artists. And I think it costed like maybe $15 or $10. So I was very happy to give this little money to get something very big in the end. However, I didn't know that this would lead me so far, and I will be one who will be building a Belarusian legacy and something that will be very strong against what culture maybe today represent in Belarus, with all these limitations due political situation and all those artists who do not have right to express themselves freely. So when I got this book published in 2019, I was very happy to purchase some extra examples to give them away to my Swedish colleagues and telling them that this is I made it possible, even if it was like $10 or $15. And after that, I would apply for a grant from the Swedish Institute, and it was much more money than $10 or $15. And I would get grant to bring Belarusian artists from this book to the artist in residency in Turkey, summer 2022. So it's last summer, to give them possibilities and inspiration to develop their artistic research, but also present the artistic research for the international audience. I also decided that since my Belarusian sisters, they have this kind of very conservative agenda. They paint oil, it's a lot of graphics. There are no among them women artists who works with installations or performance art or do something like things that we have, like video art, right? We have here, and we see it. I was like curious, okay, fine. And there are like 16 people, so what do I do? How do I unite them? And how do I also unite and integrate in this Turkish local community? So I have chosen a place for performance artists. So artists in residence, it was for performance artists. It was in the middle of forest. We had beautiful bungalows in the nature, and we had 2 big houses where we had joint sessions, and we were and we had 2 Turkish ladies to serve us breakfast. So I was thinking, okay, so what do I do? And when I entered the room, the space with my artists, the first thing I did, I came to these women and I said, hi, to Turkish women. Hi, how are you? My name is Ludmila, and they didn't speak any English. So it was translated, and I said, what do you like to knit for your family? And what do you like to cook? So next day, they taught us how to cook their traditional dishes. So we learned how to cook hummus, and the day after we learned how to cook manti, it's ravioli style. And the day after, they brought all like a lot of knitted stuff that they made for their families. And the day after, we invited them for lunch together with their girlfriends. And we served their lunch so we put table in the middle of the field under the pine tree on the first course, we were serving Belarusian food, and we played Belarusian music. And since this project is with Swedish experts, professors, so Swedish professors who teach in Stockholm's University, for instance, they cooked meatballs for these Turkish ladies, and we played Swedish music. Maybe ABBA, I don't remember, but it's possible. And after that, we invited these ladies to start knitting. So here you have artists, Belarusian artists, and you have Turkish women who joined us for lunch. And together we start weaving from recycled textiles from Turkish homes. And for those women who were supposed to cook breakfast for us, it was first time they were so close to art, and they were making art that I think it was very moving for them. And this workshop, textile workshop with Belarusian and Turkish women, it would open all doors for us. Next day we would go to meet architects, then we would go to fashion design schools, then we ended up at the market with women crafting different things and also baking. And wherever we went, we always wanted to support. So at this market we were buying a lot of unnecessary and necessary stuff. And it was amazing to be able to learn that these women cooking breakfast for us, they have actually ambitions in their lives. So their life is not so simple. So this market where they sell their like dishes, their pastries, it's actually an extra way for them to earn money. And before I forget, I just say that now I'm here, and if I follow these ladies, Turkish, on Instagram, and they continue giving workshops to everyone who visits their artist residency. So this became all of a sudden my infusion, my influence, and they're very proud to post their creations on Instagram. So I just think that it's amazing to be able to connect and speak the same language with women. But let's introduce also Concha. I've been working with her in Turkey for several years. So she connects me with universities. She's very supportive, and now she's pioneering one of my other projects. And Aizigul, she runs the space and also art gallery. And here Irina from Belarus. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to have Belarusian female artists. They didn't want to take pictures. They don't want to be next. They want, but they cannot, because I'm activist here. And if we all of a sudden will be somewhere together, it will damage their lives, and they can end up in prison. So here some representatives, and when we recently had exhibition, but wait, so with this net, after the Turkey, I would pack the net and I would say bye to these Turkish ladies. And they were so, of course, they were sad when we were leaving, but I said, don't worry, we will be back. And at that time, they already spoke some English, and they didn't when we came. So they were like, hi, how are you? I'm like, okay, I'm fine. So I never know. I guess when next time I visit them, they will be like very advanced in communicating and all these things. So I packed the net and I went to Stockholm, and I had presentation in an international performance festival in an act of weaving, and I ran whole presentation with Ukrainian refugees. So today, together with me, I have Irina. So she is actually a refugee from Ukraine, and she working in my projects with weaving, with exhibitions, and with crafting. I will show you more things after this presentation. Yeah, so we continued weaving workshop here in Sweden with recycled textiles from Swedish homes. And of course, the topic I wanted to discuss is what Ukrainian people, they lost their homes and they are losing their families. So what can we do together? How can we support each other? Then I would pack this net and I would go to United States. I had my artist in residency there. And in New York, I would do presentation at the Times Square with recycled textiles from American homes. And it was also Ukrainian activists. It was Taiwanese documentary filmmaker, and it was American and all kind of cultures, of course. And after the presentation, it was a Taiwanese filmmaker. She would come to me and say that she liked the project, and I think it's very important to weave together. So I was thinking, wait, why don't I invite you with your film to my exhibition in Stockholm in February in the museum, Armory Museum at the Royal Palace. So I did it. I invited her. And she bought ticket. She made a short film very quickly because she was filming Ukrainian activists in the United States, and she included this part in the movie. And she came for the exhibition, and we had exhibition opening in February at Livrustkammaren during Design Week. And the incredible part is that on the front page of Livrustkammaren, we had this image with these Turkish ladies who never could imagine that they can pioneer museums like Swedish museums. So, and we had successful screening of documentary at the museum, and I also invited performance artist Nefeli Ikonomo to present her work. Let's see if I have. So our exhibition in Livrustkammaren, it lasted only 1 week, but it had a lot workshops and presentations and activities during this week. And I was happy to give possibilities to Taiwanese filmmaker and also performance artist Nefeli from Greece to use the stage in the museum. And of course, I brought my Ukrainian refugee women on stage, while I had Turkish women on the main image. Yeah, so here we are on stage, and it's actually very impressive that when we have homes and we knit and we make crafts for home, we never think that this can be something bigger and something very important, and this actually has this uniting craft in it. And our last presentation, where you're going to participate today, so you are going to weave a band for peace and freedom. This is a national textile project on the national level. We had presentation in February at the Festival for Crafts and Sewing. Participants, they could write their dreams and wishes on these small ribbons and weave them in the net. And this is how I usually take out my either global or local national projects. So I have my travel bag. And this is our like national textile project. And I have here also Emma from France, who is helping me with my activities. So Emma, if you could maybe help me, but no, let's put it on the table. Let's just show. We show that this is the Swedish flag. How do we hold it? Okay, we turn. This is the right way. Okay, who knows how Swedish flag look like? Okay, натягивай. It doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter. Да подожди, стой, остановись, потому что иначе мы будем тут это. Okay, whatever. This is a Swedish flag. And the colors are very similar. And we got net from north of Sweden, from the very small Swedish company, which apparently never believed that they can go global with this is for the cats and for balconies. And then here we have also recycled textiles, something that company Buros Textiles, they didn't need in their production. So we got all these blue and yellow stripes. So you are all invited now to write something and to weave a band. This flag is a way for Ukrainian refugees to say thank you to Sweden for this year. And we began weaving of this project on the 1 year anniversary from the war, since the war in Ukraine began. And we will be continuing weaving this in different cities in Sweden. So we are already invited to Gothenburg, and we are invited to Maria Fred. So we are just waiting for more invitations, and we are very excited about this journey. So thank you very much. Let's see if I have more. Yeah? Okay. Are you ready?